Hey guys, what's going on? It's your girl Roxy here, and I'm so excited to have you on today's video. So today I want to have a conversation with you if you are a master's figure competitor. Whether you're a seasoned competitor who's looking to do things a lot better, or if you are a complete newbie who's aspiring to step on stage one day, but you are over the age of 35 and you know that you're going to be competing in that master's category, which is a very respectable category. In fact, you'll be pretty surprised to hear that there are a lot of competitors out there, even on the pro level, who are over the age of 35. So let's go ahead and talk about how you can put your best foot forward out there as a master's figure competitor. Before we jump into today's conversation, let's go ahead and get some business right out of the way. I want you to make sure that you stay to the very end of this video because I have a special free gift that I want to give to you that's going to help you to figure out this game in the contest prep realm for those of you out there who need a little more guidance and help. And you're going to love it. It's an amazing free ebook and I got some videos to go with it. It's like this whole thing. Oh my gosh. Stay to the end of the video and I'll go ahead and tell you more about that. Also, please right now go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Do not wait. Subscribe right now. Click the bell notifications thing so that way when my videos come out that you get notified immediately and you can watch them. For those of you that are joining me for the very first time, thank you so much. And for my returning subscribers, hey ladies, what's going on? Welcome back. My name is Roxy Beckles and I am a fitness professional who's been in the industry for over 21 years. I'm also an IFBB pro and I had the amazing honor to be able to compete at the 2014 Olympia. So I am an Olympian as well. And I have a really great passion for the sport of bodybuilding. I'd been following it for a very long time, since the 80s. So to be able to become a pro, to be able to get to the Olympia was a huge thing for me. And what I do now is I am an online coach who specializes in working with women who want to compete in figure and women's physique specifically, especially those who are master's level competitors. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So ladies, the first thing I want to say to you, especially for those of you who are over the age of 40, is to make sure that the first thing that you do before you set off on any contest prep, and I would say even before you embark on an off season, particularly if you are someone who competes all the time and you haven't done this yet, please go ahead and make this your first priority. Get your hormone levels checked. Get your hormones levels checked. Stay on top of where your hormones are. When I'm saying your hormones, I want you to specifically look at three things. The first thing that I want you to look at are your adrenals. Stay on top of where your cortisol and DHEA levels are, because we go through stress on a daily basis. And stress can really hinder the amount of fat loss that you see, or whether, your program is working at all. Stress can come in many forms. It can come from, just your general stress when you think about the word stress and what that, means. But it can also come from things like exercising. It can come from not sleeping enough. It can come from in many different ways. So it's going to be really important that you make sure that your adrenals are up to par. I have a really great video where I talk about cortisol. I'm going to put the link for you right here at the top in the little circle eye thing. So check that out if you suspect that you may be dealing with some adrenal issues and what you can do about that. The second hormones that I want you to take a look at is your thyroid levels. And so when we're talking about thyroid, you need to look at four specific things: your TSH levels, your free unbound T3, your free unbound T4, and your RT3 levels. And here's the thing, you have to request that specifically from your doctor. They will not test this at all. What they will look at is your TSH levels and your T4, and that's not really telling you how your thyroid is actually functioning. Your thyroid as an organ is the number one organ that is responsible for metabolism. And it's going to have a huge effect whether or not you see the fat loss that you want to see, or if your body is completely stalled out. And it has also a big impact on your energy levels and how you feel as well. So making sure that everything is within optimal ranges is really important. And that's a whole other conversation that we can have, but I'm going to leave it right there for right now. But to make sure that you go ahead and ask specifically for those four hormone levels to see where your thyroid is at, and stay on top of that. And the third thing that I want you to look at hormonally are your sex hormones. Ladies, as you know, as we get older, we're getting closer and closer to menopause, and that's going to have a huge effect on how your body fat is proportioned on your body. It can also greatly impact whether or not you're able to lose weight at a greater degree and how hard that is for you. For some women, you may not even know that you could be dealing with estrogen dominance like right now. And if you are, it's going to be really hard for you to try to get to the amount of leanness that you need to get to for competing. If you have low testosterone, that can have an effect as well. Where your progesterone levels are, that has an effect as well. So staying on top of your hormones is so super important. And the only way that you know is by testing and making sure that you are within optimal ranges for your age. The next thing that I want you to do as a prospective master's figure or women's physique competitor is to really take an honest assessment about where you are right now. Now look, this game can be pretty hard and pretty brutal when you think about the mental aspects of competing. And for some women, they may look at stepping on a stage to be like something that's really helping them to maybe be motivated to lose weight. So it's a part of their weight loss journey. I hear so many times about women looking at a show calendar and picking out a show that's like 12 weeks from like today or 8 weeks out, and they want to lose like 100 pounds to get on stage and have this huge transformation story, which is fantastic. And I encourage you to do that. I have clients that actually did that as well. I'm going to link to one of my clients named Gabby, who you should pay attention to, who talked about how she lost 100 pounds over time and then got on stage and just knocking it out. You'll love her. But that's not the time for you to go ahead and try to attain that goal and compete at the same time. So be realistic about where you are. So if you need to lose weight first and change your body first, do that. That's totally okay. And then when you're at a place where you are, you have some degree of leanness, that you have a strong foundation with your diet and your training, and that it's really truly a lifestyle and way of life for you, then that's when you want to go ahead and choose that show. So that kind of leads into that next tip that I wanted to say, is that to really look at where you are right now and be honest. Say, hey, look, I got to get myself together so that way when I do prep, I don't have to move heaven and earth to get on that stage, and I can do it in a healthy and sane way. And ladies, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. A lot of people think that bodybuilding, because you do it in the gym and you have to eat a certain way in order to look the way you want, that it's like this supremely healthy sport. But bodybuilding is anything but, because your body doesn't actually want to be as lean as you're requiring it to be for the stage, and to also hold the amount of muscle that the judges are expecting to see. That's not natural. So the safer and smarter you can play this game, the more you can consider your health along the way, the more you can optimize your body while you're, have this amazing goal to step up there and see what you can actually do for yourself physically and the challenges that you can meet for yourself. You got to make sure that you do it the right way, and the better off you will be. Everything I'm saying right now is just flowing like really perfectly into the next point, because the next point for me to give to you is that I want you to allow yourself enough time to actually prep for the show when it is time for you to do so. I personally have always loved a longer prep. Even when I was competing for myself, I would start prepping about 20 weeks out. And during that time, what it allowed me to do was to just do everything in a smarter way. And I adopt those same kind of principles with every single client that I work with. So we'll start cleaning up a client's diet around 20 weeks out from the show, making sure that, everything is, the discipline is there, that we really just clean things up, get their head in the right place to be able to embark on that prep intelligently. So for you, what I would say is to give yourself a good 20 weeks, or if you don't want to do 20 weeks, do not do any less than about 16 weeks for your show. You want to be able to allow yourself enough time to be able to actually lose the fat that you need to lose and keep as much muscle on as you possibly can. And the slow way is the best way to do that. The last thing that you want to do is crash diet into any show. That's like asking for sudden death and ruining your health. And I see it so many times, time and time again. And be careful of the coaches out there who allow you to do that, who allow you to just, pick a date 12 weeks from now and let's do that. You want to work with people who have your best interest at heart. And the first person who has to have your best interest at heart is you. Next, pose, pose, pose. Did I say pose? Yeah, because that's what I want you to do. Here's the thing. When you get up on that stage and you're standing shoulder to shoulder next to your competition, The judges do not care how you got there. They don't care what diet you follow. They don't care how you trained. They just want to see bodies that look great up there. They want to see a good competition. They want to see a good lineup. The sport of bodybuilding is actually in the art of posing. Being able to have the ability to show off your strengths and hide your weaknesses and flaws. Now that is what it's all about. Because the judges, when you are up there, they're not up there looking for who's the most perfect athlete up there. What they are looking for is every one of your flaws. They're trying to pick those babies out. And every time they find one, boom, you move down that lineup. Before you know it, honey, you in the last call out, or they'd have moved you to the outside of the lineup. So you want to be able to learn how to pose and present by minimizing your flaws and really trying to display the ideal shape, which is the X frame for figure and women's physique, as much as you can with your genetics. And the only way that you learn the art of posing is by practicing all the time. When my clients start to move into their contest prep, I tell them to start right away. Even at 20 weeks out, even at 16 weeks out, we'll do private posing lessons. We have group lessons as well, where we'll sit and we'll work on perfecting their posing and the art of showing off their best. And I also say that you need to be doing posing every single day if you can, or as many times a week as you can. Start slow. You can do about 30 minutes a day. But for some of you that are really like newbies at this, hey, listen, I used to go out there and work on posing for like an hour a day, and there's nothing wrong with that. When you are new at something, you want to make sure that you're doing it all the time. Do not save your posing to the last minute, because I guarantee you that you can be beaten out by someone who's not as lean, who doesn't have as much muscle, but they know how to show off their shape. You will be beaten up by that person. So do not allow that to happen. Practice your posing. And the final tip that I have for you as a master's competitor looking to get out there in figure and women's physique is to just really be realistic about your body and what your genetics are. I always say this when it comes to bodybuilding. You know, everybody wants to play in the NBA, but not everybody is Kobe Bryant. Okay, so let's just be honest there, right? Not everybody out there has the genetics to be the next Miss Olympia. So you want to stay really realistic about the cards that you're dealt with. If you come from genetics that find you being a little bit on the stockier or heavier side, or you tend to really have a hard time being lean, then you're going to have to work a lot harder than someone who, you know, popped out with the perfect X frame from the womb and carries muscle like a sprinter and is generally lean when they eat crap all day. I mean, those are the cards we're all dealt with. Sorry, I'm just the messenger. So just be super honest with yourself. Don't let it discourage you, but don't expect to be able to like just get shredded to the bone when, you know, that may not be your genetics. And a lot of women think that just because they're training and dieting that it's so easy to get shredded and lean. It's anything but. Again, when you look at your genetics and then you consider where your hormones are, because that's going to be a major driving factor, then you have a more realistic picture about what you're going to be able to do and what's possible for you. And honey, if you have the genetics to go all the way to the top, I say go for it. I have helped women in their 50s to earn pro cards. I have helped women in their 40s to earn pro cards. And I'm talking about in some of the most competitive federations in the world, the IFBB, the WBFF, and also some of the natural orgs as well. So I've seen it happen and I know it's possible. So if you're playing with those kind of cards and you're one of those lucky ones out there, the sky is the limit for you. So go ahead, give yourself the fighting chance to be successful. Keep your goals high, keep aiming for the sky, and don't you let anyone tell you what's possible, because you can do this even if you are over the age of 35, over the age of 40, and yes, honey, over the age of 50, and I'm going to say it right now, over the age of 62. Well, that's it. I hope that this was super duper helpful for you. I hope that you're able to take away some things that are going to help you to get out there and get on that stage and just be your absolute best up there. Now, I promised you a free gift if you stuck around to the very end of this video, so let me go ahead and share that with you. So for those of you out there who are looking to take your contest prep game to the next level, maybe you're just getting started right now and you don't know where to start, you're in that like information gathering stage, well, I got something for you. So I want you to go to my website and I want you to download my contest prep crash course ebook. Now that ebook is jam-packed, and I'm telling you jam-packed with some of my best information, my best tips to help you to sort out this game of contest prep and competing. And not only that, how to get started and do it the smarter way without having to starve yourself, do hours upon hours of cardio, and to do the things that you hear horror stories about. In addition to the ebook itself, I have a whole library of videos that you need to watch that talk about posing and presentation and cardio and nutrition and inspiring stories from clients of mine who started off just like you and got all the way to the top of the sport. So check that out, rockstarfitness.com/contest prep crash course. I'll put the link in the description of this video and also for YouTube in the little eye circle at the top over there, so you can check that out right now. And hey, if you've already kind of gotten my contest prep crash course and you're at a point right now where you feel like you're ready to hire someone, you want to work with a coach who understands you, who puts your health first, and who not only looks at contest prep and the whole bodybuilding thing as a whole, but your lifestyle and everything else around that as a part of your training, then I want to talk to you. Go ahead and check out my website, rockstarfitness.com/clarity call. Set up a time to speak with me, 30 minutes of your time, and we're going to see if you and I are compatible to work together. And listen, I only take on clients that I know that I can truly help, who I feel will mesh well with what I have to offer. But you're only going to figure that out if you actually talk to me on the phone. So go ahead and check out rockstarfitness.com/clarity call. Fill out an application, and then we'll touch base about getting you scheduled for an appointment. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me today. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel and click the bell notification so that way you don't miss a single video. Thank you for joining me today. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.